Hi, my name is Rick Anderson, and I'm co-chairman of this year's annual giving campaign or stewardship campaign here at Christ Church Cathedral. As the chairman or co-chairman, this year I went a little bit beyond to learn as much as I could about Christian generosity. And what I learned is kind of an interesting story of three types of generosity. There's generosity of God, there's generosity for God, and there's generosity with God. And I'll speak about each one of them a little bit. The generosity of God is something that we typically take as all the gifts we get from God. And if you think about some of the really big gifts, the Garden of Eden, Moses' exodus from slavery, and the Ten Commandments, and the greatest gift of all, the birth of Jesus Christ. All of those were kind of the big gifts from God. But your lives, everybody's lives, are touched with the smaller gifts on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, I could think of only two types of prayers. There are please prayers and there are thank you prayers. Please prayers are when you're asking God for something, and thank you prayers are when you're expressing your gratitude for those gifts. So that's what generosity of God means to me. Generosity for God is really our response to God's love. When we give to God, when we give to the church, we're saying to God, thank you for all you've done for my life and all the things you do for both myself and the people that I care for. Generosity for God, really, and generosity of God were really the two forms of generosity I was most familiar with. Kathy and I have always given our annual pledges. We've given to other parts of the church, like the Helm Building. We've given to the Girls Choir. We've given to the Legacy Society. And those are types of giving that are really that give and take. We thank God with our gifts to Him. Now, there's a third form of generosity that I've just recently come to learn about, and that's the generosity with God. God does not expect us to just take our money up to the walls of the kingdom of God and push it over for Him to use. No, He expects us to be in partnership with Him in showing how our generosity for God and our generosity with God are really part of the way to make God's kingdom better. So when we give, God expects us to then turn that generosity into something for the good of His kingdom. And there's no better example than the building right behind me here, which is the Helm Building. It was in disrepair, it needed a lot of work, and it was kind of holding back the cathedral from being a better service to the community of people around Lexington. Well, we reimagined it, and we came up with this beautiful building we have today, where now the classrooms are full, the nurseries are full. There's a whole set of new families joining the cathedral because of the facilities that we have. We totally reimagined the Helm Building, and I like to say, as Tim Alford said the other week, it's one of our sequoia trees. We plant the tree in the hopes that future generations will benefit from it. The cathedral is vibrant. There's a lot of things going on around here. The choirs are full, the classrooms are full, the adults, the children, the teens. We have a downtown youth initiative. We're at levels of activity that we haven't seen since well before the pandemic. And as we think about what's going on with all the other activities around the church, we are seeing the opportunity to continue to give and grow in God's love. And as we do that, we are reminded that all of the things that the cathedral does, both outreach and things within our wall, are all enabled by our gifts, our generosity, as we walk in love with God and respond in faith. So thank you very much for your support of the cathedral, the support of God's love, and thank you so much for being part of this community.